hit record as we're talking because what I've learned, Tony, is that sometimes the most interesting conversations happen before you start the broadcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to miss any of it. So with that said, welcome everyone to Conversations with Joshua T Berglan. I have the man, Tony, and he's going to pronounce his last name for you because I am not going to embarrass myself. But one of the reasons why Tony's here today is because, look, I talk about a lot of products. I talk about a lot of things. I mean, I don't really fit into a niche with the style of broadcast that I do, but I am one of those people, and I've been since I was a little kid, since I was stealing Juice Plus from my parents from their cabinets because I thought it was going to give me superhuman energy and all this other stuff. I have been geeked out by products, by ingredients, the way things are formulated. So I'm a product junkie. And that said, it's very, very rare that I find something that I get excited about because it's not just about a quality product that gets me excited. I get excited about the stories behind a product, the why. Now, sometimes the why for some companies is, I want to make a shitload of money. And guess what? That reflects in their products because they're cheapening out on ingredients. They're putting a bunch of fillers and a bunch of junk in there that's really going to mess with you. That in fact, that a lot of times when you buy the product, you buy it for these ingredients that they list here on the side. But what most people don't do is go look at the other ingredients to realize, holy crap, they're trying to kill me. So in this case, that's not happening. I was on Amazon.com looking at different pre-workouts, looking for things that didn't have a bunch of chemical additives and other things, something that I could feel good about taking that would be clean, not make me cracked out, not make me destroy my adrenal glands and cause me all kinds of problems. And I came across this product. And I kid you not, the first time I took it, I fell in love. And that is very, very rare. I've been taking it now for about a week, and my love for it remains the same. So I reached out to Tony, and I said, hey, do you have an affiliate program? Because I love this product, and I want to talk about it. But also, this message and purpose behind the brand is so inspiring. And as someone that battles with mental health issues, I love people that not only advocate for us, but for people that try to supply products that can help. So I am so excited, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you the founder and the creator of Reforged, an amazing supplement company. And anyway, without further ado, Tony, welcome to Conversations with Joshua T Berglan. Please tell everyone how you say your last name.
Thanks for having me, Joshua, and I really appreciate the introduction. My last name is Gjokaj. It's pronounced Gjokaj.
Whoa, where's that from?
I'm Albanian.
Really?
So, yeah. I got some interesting last names.
In Oklahoma, before I moved to California, I was friends with a girl from Albania, and just awesome. She was not that I'm not stereotyping women, but I mean, she could cook, and she cooked for all of our friends. There was a Thanksgiving that we had, an international Thanksgiving, and people from all over the world got together and brought their foods, and hers just stood out to be amazing. And I don't remember exactly what it was called, but that was the one person I knew from there. I loved her. So by default, I'm going to love you too, Tony. So
I appreciate that.
So, okay. I don't even know where to start with this, but let's get into the product itself. Like, why in the world did you try? Why? No, you didn't try. You did. Why did you create another supplement? Because there's 500 million of them out there. So why this? Why you? What's this all about?
So funny enough, how it essentially got started was just another supplement brand. But behind it, I always exercised for mental health. There's always a pursuit about it, just focusing on feeling better, focusing on some sort of progression. Because I always found like some sort of happiness in that process, just working on bettering myself each and every day. And I didn't really talk about that with the brand. I did learn a lot through with advertising and stuff, but it didn't really take off until I started talking about my journey and, how I got started with exercise, how it, helped me mentally, and how it kind of, I guess you could say it was like a catalyst to other aspects of my mental health journey, like diving into a little bit more personal development books, reading more philosophy, just working on just starting this business and working on the more purposeful side of the business, and kind of showing everyone has different goals with exercise, but what matters is that consistent progression in something that you have some sort of enjoyment in.
Sure.
So
now, why did you choose the ingredients that you did? Because again, sometimes people just throw stuff together, but I know from my experience with, experimenting, trying different things, the ingredients that you put here, there's a purpose behind it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So what I wanted to do essentially is create a product that gets somebody like fired up and ready to go to the gym. Obviously, I can't say on an advertising standpoint, but let's say, for example, the beta alanine that's found in the pre-workout, it gets you ready to go. Like 10 to 15 minutes after taking that scoop, you start feeling that tingling sensation that kind of tells you to get to the gym if you're not already in there. So I wanted to help people use a product like this to get that drive to get in there when they're not feeling motivated to do so. And personal journey, there are times with exercise where I'm not motivated 100% of the time. So I need an extra kick to get in there. And sometimes the pre-workout is that kick. So essentially that's how I kind of went in the process of formulating. And then also on top of that, I worked with one of my buddies that has a chemistry background, and we kind of looked at the ingredients and we're like, what can we do to have some sort of efficacious dosage that has a response? And the efficacious dose is like a specific ingredient quantity that helps, provide the benefits of said pre-workout. I know that myself, I'm a supplement head as well, going through this whole process, of exercising on this journey. I found that there's a lot on the market that are just marketable ingredients. And a lot of proprietary blends where you don't know exactly what's inside the ingredients. So I wanted to create like a transparent product in that process. And you could see there's like the supplement facts, the major ingredients. There's probably about 4 or 5 ingredients on my products. And that's mainly because I wanted people to know what's exactly in them. I wanted them to know the benefits of what's exactly in them. And I can actually support the research behind it. Hey, this ingredient amount helps do this. This ingredient amount helps do that. And I think it's not only, it's an ethical standpoint. I try to be, with supplements, just showing the transparency, being as ethical as possible, because you're putting something in your body that you need to know what's going to happen as a result. And then in addition to that, I've kind of realized too, and I'll let you guys know from a business standpoint with manufacturers, the products taste so much better with less ingredients.
Yes.
And yeah, the mixability is there and everything. And that's something that I think that more companies should do. And not just my company saying that. It's like more companies should put less ingredients, less filler, and more just like, a couple ingredients, straight to the point, no BS. Take it, it tastes really good, and it'll get you going, and you'll see results from it.
So this is real. It's advertised as a nootropic pre-workout, which for me immediately means I'm not going to feel cracked out, but I'm going to feel alert. And that's really a better feeling to me, because my heart's not wanting to beat out of my throat and chest and my head and everything else. But I'm curious though, in my experience, I'm sure there's a reason for this, but a lot of people with nootropics utilize creatine or a form of creatine also, because it helps activate the nootropic or whatever the exact reason is. I've heard a lot of different theories. Why did you choose not to use creatine?
So I actually wanted to down the line, and it just right now I felt like with a pre-workout, just having for myself on the formulation and working and talking with people, the creatine would probably be some sort of recovery product down the line. So that's something that's on our pipeline, but we're still trying to discover that. And one thing that I'm really focusing on right now is like I said, all in all, the creatine is a down the line thing. But what I'm focusing right now is just trying to discover what my customers really want. And we're kind of going through that process. And I'm not trying to create products for the product's sake, but based on their journey, right now, most of them that I've been helping are getting started with workouts, building that consistency. Maybe down the line, they're like, okay, I need something to help with recovery that's beyond the sleep product we have. And then we'll introduce the creatine and so on. So,
okay. Yeah. So you sent me, I don't have it yet, but you've sent me the sleep product that I'm excited to try. I currently The one thing that has helped me sleep is magnesium over the years. And then I went without it. I started taking peptides like 3 weeks ago, and it's helped me so much. And I'm starting to sleep normally. But that said, you know, I wish I could still have a little bit better quality of sleep. So I'm excited about trying this this product that you have. I mean, I was using, I don't know if you remember Somatomax. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, so I started taking that for years because initially I was taking Revivrant, which is another derivative of GHB. And, you know, people use GHB to party with. They use it to work out. I mean, they use it for some nefarious reasons. But GHB is in the bodybuilding community and the fitness community is a powerful tool, and it's a party drug too, and blah blah blah. Anyway, they started creating these derivatives of it that were a little bit weaker. And so when I was growing up, we had Revivrant and it had a few other names. And then Somatomax is the newest version, which is much weaker than GHB. But the thing about it is it helped you hit REM sleep almost immediately. Now, but like with most products like this, at least in my experience, eventually you get used to it. And then you have to start dosing more. But the problem with dosing more with the product like that is, well, you can have the same effect of what happens with regular GHB, where you can be dancing or working out, and next thing you know, you black out and you don't wake up and everyone thinks you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I got crazy stories from that product. So I stopped using that years ago, and I've tried little sleep products here and there with all of these new style of formulations that either keep me up wide awake, or I sleep for an hour really hard and then I'm wide awake going, now what do I do? So can you talk about your sleep product? Talk about some of the ingredients and why you brought this to market.
So with the sleep product, and sleep is very tricky. So I've actually been getting a lot of feedback on sleep supplement. So one thing I will say, like as just a preface, is like this brand, essentially, whatever feedback I get, I am willing to move, like change ingredients and things like that, because I'm not trying to just bring up a product for myself, but essentially help people on this exercise for mental health journey with ingredients that are benefiting them in the long term. But with mine, I have a very small 1 milligram amount of melatonin in it. I have buddies that were taking upwards to 5 milligrams. And I was like, you should be working that down a little bit more. And so what I wanted to do with that is, yeah, we have the 1 milligram of melatonin, but I really wanted to focus on other ingredients that help benefit sleep and sleep quality. So we have ingredients like L-glycine in it, which helps with sleep quality. We have magnesium glycinate as well, and that's going to work synergistically with the glycine. And then we also have L-theanine, which we have in our pre-workout too. It's, you know, it's from green tea. It has that calming effect. So essentially with the sleep supplement, I wanted to have this sort of, I guess you could say it's like a couple phases of getting into sleep and just getting quality sleep. So I wanted to help people get calmness before bed. I wanted them to experience sleeping throughout the night and then waking up refreshed the following morning. I don't like the feeling of taking a sleep product and waking up groggy. So that's one thing that I was really dialing in on. And there's been a few iterations of the sleep product, and there may be many more, but I'm just trying to create a product that works best for majority, I want to say like 99.9% of the audience that I'm helping out. So.
Now, do you source, because there's a lot of, another thing that a lot of people don't know is because they read the back of the label and they go, oh, caffeine, and then they L-theanine, and they look at the ingredients, but a lot of people don't know how important the source of the ingredients are and the actual quality that they're getting, because it may say something on the label, but is it really what you think you're getting?
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, it's not. How important is the source of ingredients for you when you put these products together?
So that's very important to me, because I have been through supplements where, especially in the supplement space, they've gotten better with it now, but with the FDA regulation in the supplement space, they only come at you after the fact. And so like you can create whatever product People could put some crazy stuff in there and you won't even know. One thing that I like a lot recently is the FDA is cracking down a lot more. And also on Amazon, they're selling on Amazon, they actually want you to be third-party lab tested. So you have to reach out to a third party to look at the ingredients, see if the quality ingredients are in there. There's no like banned substances in there or anything along those lines. So I'm really happy they went about that process. But third-party lab testing is very important to me because I want to make sure working with a manufacturer that they're doing something as ethical as possible, because it's a business, it's a partnership of the sort. And if they're not being ethical, I can't work with them. And it's something that, in experiencing in the supplement space, I've had supplements where, perfect example, Jacked pre-workout. That was my first pre-workout. And that was something that, it's probably like a black market pre-workout. Now you could probably buy the original, but it's just, people died from it. So it's one of those things where I really want to be careful, and I want to make sure my customers, I'm selling a product to people and I don't want them to have an adverse effect from it. I'm not trying to harm anybody. So that's something that I really take into consideration when it comes to formulating the products and then also working with manufacturers.
What's your opinion on the pro hormone market? Because so when I grew up, this is right around the time and when we started getting exposed to it, when Mark McGuire, everyone was accusing him of steroids, but he was like, no, it's Andro 6. It's all natural. And so everyone, we were in high school, we start taking Andro 6, which then led to, buying real testosterone or that you could inject and then all of these other derivatives and other things that have come out that are a play off of pro hormones and test boosters and so on. What is your feeling as an expert? And I don't want you to put you in a position to badmouth anyone, but can you talk about those products in general and kind of, even though you're not selling them, help people make an educated buying decision when they're looking for test boosters and things that will boost their mitochondria and so on? So
with testosterone boosters on the market, there's a lot that say they help, but really there's probably like a very little response in regards to that with certain ingredients they might have. I've been seeing that some other more established brands are starting to come out with their own testosterone boosters of the sort, and they're very like herbal supplement-esque. Like for example, ashwagandha. There's a lot of research, that helping with testosterone and things like that. So you're starting to see more of that on the market, which I'm really happy about, because if you look at certain ingredients in testosterone boosters, you'll see the proprietary blends, and you don't know how much you're getting of each quantity of like any type of herbs or anything along those lines. One thing I would say to anybody is the perfect way to kind of find what works best for like a testosterone booster of the sort is a website that I utilize sometimes if I'm curious about specific ingredients in my supplements. It's called examine.com. Oh. And you can actually find studies around certain herbal ingredients based on their, based on the dosage, what it did or did not do. Sometimes you'll find that certain ingredients may say, hey, this didn't really, elicit a response, but we're still doing more studying and things like that. It helps you be more informed in the space and more informed with certain ingredients. So when you go to shop and look for products, hey, I know this at this dosage actually helps with, testosterone. I know this, with creatine, creatine's the most studied. So that one's a little bit easier, but with creatine 5 grams and taking this every day, it's going to help me with recovery. It's going to help me with exercise performance. And then, seeing the ashwagandha, maybe 300 to 600 milligrams, like, oh, that's going to help me with testosterone. It's going to help me with exercise performance as well. And it's going to help me with recovery and so on. So with Examine, you can look at, specific ingredients and see, hey, is this giving me the dosage and the ingredients that I need for, the intended goal? So. Yeah.
I've learned 2 things. One, find the natural version of any product. There's so many, even B12, they pump synthetic B12 in like every energy drink. And I got to tell you, that can be one of the more dangerous ingredients that you consume is a synthetic B12. But synthetic anything, in my opinion, is going to cause you problems eventually. it would be better to spend the extra money, get something that's bioavailable for your body, that's active for your body, that will actually work with you so that you don't have to keep adding more and more and more and more and more to get the effect. But again, going back, and the other lesson is look for the lab certifications, especially when they're making claims. Shilajit, and I've got tons of videos out there of me talking about Shilajit, and it's been my favorite test booster of all that I had taken until I found the peptides. But the problem with Shilajit is now more people know about it, therefore more a-holes are starting to get in the business, and not to use a cocaine reference, but they're stepping on the product. Like, it's not what you think. It may look like the resin or the tar that you think you're buying, but it ain't real. It's not the same thing. So that certificate analysis really does matter. But even with that, you still have to be careful because there's a lot of shady third-party companies out there. So I tried my best to order directly from source when possible, especially when it's herbal.
I agree with that 100%. It's one of those things where, you know, when you start to get a lot of people in the space, especially with specific trending, you know, if something becomes popular, you know, recently berberine has gotten popular.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'll have people that actually create, like, it's pure berberine, and then all of a sudden people crowd the market, especially on Amazon, because I do my research and stuff on product research on Amazon. You see like less of a dose, or you see like it says it has berberine, but then you'll start to see that you know, you have your proprietary blends, and you're like, okay, how many milligrams of berberine is in here for what I want? And it's not there. So that's something that's very troublesome, because you have to, you know, as a shopper, you have to do your research beforehand to purchase. And that's also, you know, a process where a lot of people, you know, they're busy with their lives, and they want to, you know, buy supplements that will help them on their journey. But sometimes, you know, they have their obligations. They can't sit down and do all the product research and stuff. So I hope that in the future, we're going to start to see more of people being a little bit more transparent with supplementation. I know a few companies out there that are being a lot more transparent. They're very purpose driven. And I think that the businesses that will thrive going forward are the purpose driven ones, the honest ones, the ones built with integrity. So I hope down the line, we're not going to see all this, you know, crowded market of crap, essentially.
No, I agree 100%. You know, there's some negative things about Amazon for sure that people could say, but here's what it's done. It's educated people a lot. It's helped people learn the questions to ask. And that's been the problem. I think that for a long time, people just didn't know the right questions to ask. And that's starting to change a lot. I used to laugh when I first got into the product world. I came in through skincare, and it's just amazing what people assume or did assume was right for them or good for them or was safe for them, that now that's starting to change, and people are starting to be like, not only I want to know where this product came from, but also I want to know who the owner is. I want to know what they're about. I want to know if I'm supporting some egomaniacal, whatever that word is, like maniac that is just, they're going to try to poison me through the products or whatever it may be. They're greedy. They're just throwing stuff together. I mean, there's so many different, you know, ways to express that, but people are wising up, and that's important because it's going to hold business owners accountable. And I believe that that is a win for everyone.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. As I mentioned to you too, is like, since I have the other job working at the Amazon ad agency, we're very brand focused. Like, we take on clients that have, you know, they have a passion or some sort of purpose driven vision of where they want to go with their brands. And we're all about, we even tell them, create like a social media account and be the business owner. Show people your day-to-day life, but then also show, hey, I'm making this company, or I've had this company established, so people buy into you because they want to know exactly who the owner is. Like, they're like, this product's great. I want to know more about the owner and why they started this and why they're doing this. And that, I love the fact that, you know, as the years go on, it's a lot more people driven. It's a lot more community. It's a lot more of, you know, before it was just purchasing products for product's sake, but now everyone wants, we're more connected than ever before, and everyone wants to know more about the owners, more about the employees, and so on. And the businesses that are starting to thrive going forward are those kind of businesses. So
yeah, I think it's exciting. And it's also the other thing that it's doing that excites me, but it's kind of from selfish reasons, is that right, the internet and social media has rewarded niches. You hit the niche, you stay in the niche, you focus on the niche, that's all you do. That sounds miserable to me. Like that sounds, I mean, I have a unique ability to hyper focus, but that turns me into a maniac. Like I want no part of that. I want to create how I feel led creating that day, and whatever that looks like, that's what it looks like. And because we're going in this direction where we're all going to be media companies, independent media organizations, and the writings all over the wall, you can't be a media organization and niche down to death. I don't think that's rewarded nor celebrated in this new world that we're in. And so that's what I love, because I can have you on today talking about products, but 2 hours ago, I was talking about the relationships amongst religions with a Muslim woman who lives in Dubai that I've known for years, and having that conversation. And then I had a prisoner on 3 episodes ago. And then I like being able to express my creative or express my interest in wanting to know certain areas without having to fit into this damn box. I don't want to be in a box. And I think other people are tired of being in a box too. And so now we have this medium of new media with accessible tools for all of us, where we really get to express ourselves freely. That is amazing. What a cool time to be alive. So I love that you said that, because it really complements this message that I've been delivering to people, is like, now's the time to create the world that you want to live in, and you get to do it with media.
yes, exactly. Like even with, I talk about a lot of exercising for mental health and stuff, and that's my message, but I like to share what I do outside. Like, I'm sharing the job I work at. I'm sharing, how I like my philosophy, how I like to, my readings and things like that. And it just makes everything more interesting. It makes it more fun, because you can share your journey, you can share your life, and people are supportive of it. Like you're going to find, maybe you may get some negative comments here and there, but what happens is that filters out. You start to find some great people that supportive of your journey. And some people I haven't even physically shook their hands, they haven't personally shook their hands, but they're supportive of the journey. They're like, hey, I love what you're doing here. Here's what I'm doing. And you get to learn more about them as well, which is pretty awesome. I feel like it's a great experience.
For sure. Well, Tony, I've really enjoyed this. It's actually, well, I mean, I kind of expected it to be great, but you still never know what to expect. And I really love this. I love your transparency and your authentic way of being. And that motivates me more to, want to buy the products and pay attention to what you're creating, and even just following your journey. But Tony, can you tell, like, I would love for you to take the floor here, share anything that you feel led to share. But of course, please make sure that you plug where people can find you, where they can come buy this amazing product and your sleep product, but then also just follow your journey.
Yeah. So essentially, a lot of what I've been talking about is just exercising for mental health. And if you guys are trying to, get into the habit of doing so, let's say you struggle along the way and you're not finding the exact, type of exercise that you like or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via email at tony@reforged.com, or you can head on over to one of my social media channels, Instagram at IB as in boy, Tony G, or Live Reforged on Instagram. And you can feel free to message me at any time. And then for our products, you can head on over to amazon.com/reforged. And in addition to livereforged.com, we prioritize Amazon because it's more convenient for most people, but feel free to purchase on whatever site you feel comfortable with. And yeah, that's pretty much my little plug.
Very good, man. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited about trying the sleep product. And I mean it. I'm loving it. it's taken what I've been trying to do. I've had this quest because I was taking a bunch of supplements. When I say a bunch, I was taking supplements to help with my adrenals, helping products with testosterone and energy, and on and on and on. And so basically I was taking about 10 supplements. I'm down to 3, which are the peptides in your product. Like, that is a miracle as far as I'm concerned, because I don't need to take anything else. So I'm excited. I'm grateful for your product. I'm so glad I discovered it, and I'm very grateful for your time, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.